should have ended that day, but evil was allowed to endure.
Endured all that was humanly possible.
We might have to endure some manner of ill-conceived escape attempt.
But one can endure that.
It has not been cheerful for me either, having to endure your contempt every day.
Some ordeal that had to be endured, some dark deed that had to be...
When someone endures an experience like this,
they'll endure.
Will paint a thorough picture of the horrific events endured in Salmon.
Should have ended that day, but evil was allowed to endure.
Had to collect firewood. She endured all that was humanly possible, then must have sat down to rest.
I thought we might have to endure some manner of ill-conceived escape attempt. But not from you.
On our return to...
No one can endure that.
I won't torment you any longer. It has not been cheerful for me either, having to endure your contempt every day. I thought I could take it, but I can't.
That had to be performed. Some ordeal that had to be endured, some dark deed that had to be dispatched.
Mr. Poirot, I'm not at liberty to answer any of those questions.
when someone endures an experience like this, there are very often residual effects.
People have plenty of water. They'll endure.
These particular circumstances will paint a thorough picture of the horrific events endured in Salmon.
Very well. You may proceed.
Jesus, it's bad enough I have to endure those filthy gym shoes of yours, but then I get all dolled up and we have to go out in this old jalopy with...
I wouldn't think they're not hardy. I mean, just because they're exotic doesn't mean they can't endure extremes. It is, after all, a jungle out there, isn't it?
How long must we endure this fool?
We have a break.
I will show him what a man can do and what a man endures, he thought.
Gripped by a never-ending migraine.
Yes, Mother.
And you suppose I've endured all this agony for nothing? I have built...
Catherine, how will I endure it?
Is that what the Redeemer promised us? Only by strength and faith will we be able to endure the ordeal. I thank God Peter and Paul was...
You shall endure the full weight of the law and not 1 day less. You will be confined...
It's pitiable.
It is pitiable, Turner. You have never had to endure the loss of a child.
Well, I have not, sir.
And clothed and educated. The families that went through great hardships.
Fine manners at last here in the wilderness. We have endured hardship of the worst sort on the way out here. Grandpa Samuel,
We are the true knot, and we endure.
How can I explain his silence to these people who have endured so much? I need all my strength to understand.
For doing without. Perhaps for how well we can endure loneliness. But I had always known that.
Reached the Japanese people in a broadcast by Emperor Hirohito. Japan, he said, would have to endure the unendurable and suffer what was not to be suffered. Immediately after the broadcast, the War Minister and others committed...
Now see here, we will have our people back, and right quick, or we are prepared to do something about it. I will not endure this treatment! Have you ever heard of the big stick, Sultan?
Bob is right. What cannot be helped must be endured.
In fact, concluded your examination of the prisoner, Sir Wilfrid?
My lord, the prisoner has endured 3 days of the most profound mental agony and shock. The defense feels his faculty...
Something broke. His ability to endure failed.
and the suffering that he was undergoing.
They've been plagued by frogs, by lice, by flies, by sickness, by boils. They can endure no more.
Back to your home! Why do you bring this worker?
There are no clear pictures of the sexual abuse we endured. I buried it as deep as it can possibly go.
Strength in a people's union. Say, we've shown that a people can endure awful sacrifice and yet cohere. Mightn't that say...
But with faith, we shall endure.
Exist.
Virginia, you have an obligation to your own sanity.
I've endured this custody. Endured this imprisonment.
Oh, but
Jack, there's never been a problem with that.
Even after her body has endured the hellish ordeal of birthing twins?
Yes, even after that, it's still...
My lord, enter! The tyranny of the open night's too rough for nature to endure.
Let me alone. Resist the darkness. Allow me to endure this test one more day. I beg you.
Look, you want to put a man in space. He's gonna have to endure conditions the human body just wasn't made for. This...
It's like the Polo Lounge, huh? Give you something to write about.
I must say, I've never endured such discomfort before in my life.
Yeah, war as hell. You can quote me on that.
Go away.
Your Honor, I am willing to sit here and endure Mr. Drummond's sneering and his disrespect, for he is pleading the case of the prosecution by his...
But their affliction thou hast made me suffer. Deign, princess, to remember this, thy faithful slave who now endures such misery for love of thee.
For over 16 years, they know me. They know what I endured at the hands of the nobility. They will listen to me. I am certain of it.
The world will rise and fall, but here in this kingdom, we will endure.
Everyone away.
Just the mediocrities.
Janet was the only one who could endure him and chose to stick it out.
Watch it, Bill.
She paid the price, though.
The Lord is testing you.
But you know not what I endure.
He is gone indeed.
Wonder was he did endure so long. He but usurped his life.
Generally acknowledge that the pain a woman experiences during childbirth far exceeds anything a man must endure.
This is not about childbirth.
You know childbirth.
Its denial is an arbitrary indignity that no American in 1963 should have to endure. But many do. A great change is at hand.
Good. I'd like you to see.
Then you'd know what we have to endure every time we look at you.
Oh, there you are.
Prime Minister Clarkson, London may have fallen, but it has always endured and will rise again.
So Daddy's gonna be taking...
They live in captive communities, and they must endure their oppression and their conditions because and only because they are...
Thrall ruled with utter surety, never doubting his house would endure, for his line lay secure in the lives of his...
I feel your wishes, but I have to take into account his safety. The country couldn't endure another blow should any...
It's the quiet bravery of civilians who will endure far more than I ever will. Of those asked to...
...are laughing at another humiliation to add to the many endured by our country in this Cold War. Personally, I doubt it. They have too little clear...
Who are you? I have endured what no one on earth has endured before. I kiss the hands of the man.
You have to be able to endure this, John, if we're going to help her.
I'm just gonna hang out here. Wait for you, okay?
If he likes girls gone wild, she's a mall babe who talks football and endures buffalo wings at Hooters. When I met Nick Dunn, I knew he wanted cool girls.